I'm Clara, and this happened last year when I inherited my grandmother's old Victorian music box. She always kept it on a high shelf, warning me not to touch it as a child. I never knew why until I brought it home. The first time I wound it up, it played Greensleeves, but the melody sounded off like the gears were grinding against something. At first, I thought it was just old and worn out. But then, at night, I started hearing something strange, soft whispers blending with the tune, like someone was humming along. One night, as I was drifting off to sleep, the music started on its own. A chill ran through me as I strained to listen. That's when I heard it, a faint, raspy voice whispering along with the song. "Little child, I'm under your bed." I shot up, my heart hammering. My room was dark, but nothing seemed out of place. Telling myself it was just my imagination, I forced myself back to sleep. The next day, I examined the music box more closely. My fingers traced the carved edges until I felt a small latch underneath. When I pried it open, a hidden compartment slid out. Inside, there was something wrapped in brittle, yellowed fabric. It looked like a lock of hair. My stomach twisted. That night, I barely slept. Every creak in the house sent me on edge. At 3 a.m., the music started again. But this time, I saw something. A shadow shifted under my bed. The dim light from my nightstand barely reached, but I saw movement. A shape thin, unnatural. My breath caught as something crawled out. A woman in a tattered Victorian dress. Her face hollow, her mouth hanging open like a broken doll. I couldn't move. I blinked and she was gone. The next morning, I packed the music box away and left it at a thrift store. I wanted to be rid of it. But last week, my neighbor stopped me outside and asked, "Hey, do you leave your radio on at night? I swear I heard music coming from your walls." I haven't told anyone what happened. But sometimes, in the silence of the night, I swear I can still hear Greensleeves just beneath the floorboards.
My name is Bandile, and I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. This happened to me last fall, and even now, I'm not sure if I can explain it. It started when I was cleaning out my grandmother's attic. She had passed away a few months earlier, and my family was sorting through her things. The attic was packed with old furniture, dusty books, and forgotten trinkets. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, just something to hold on to, a small keepsake to remember her by. That's when I found it, at the bottom of an old wooden jewelry box, hidden inside a velvet pouch, was a necklace, a shiny jet black pendant. The moment I touched it, I felt something. Like a pull, as if the necklace had been waiting for me. I should have put it back. But instead, I fastened the chain around my neck. The metal was ice cold at first, but within seconds, a strange warmth spread through me. Not just warmth, confidence. Like I was suddenly more aware of myself. At the time, I had no idea what I had just invited into my life. Each morning after, I found a single black feather on my pillow. At first, I thought it was nothing, maybe an old pillow coming apart, maybe just my mind playing tricks. But it kept happening. One day, under my blanket. The next, tucked into my hair. Always perfectly placed, like it had been left for me. I started feeling different. I've never been great at speaking up, but suddenly, people listened. They actually noticed me. I could hold their attention in a way I never could before. I felt powerful, like I had finally unlocked the version of myself I was always meant to be, but then I started to wonder, was it really me? Or was it the necklace? So I tried an experiment. One morning, I left it behind. I went about my day without it, telling myself I didn't need some piece of jewelry to feel confident. But the moment I stepped outside, the air felt heavier, like I was moving through water. My voice came out weaker, and people barely looked at me. It was as if I had faded into the background, like I didn't belong. My heart raced, and this deep, aching emptiness spread through my chest. By noon, I felt sick, dizzy, cold, like I was shrinking into nothing. I barely made it through the day. The second I got home, I put the necklace back on, and just like that, the weight lifted. My hands stopped shaking. My reflection in the mirror looked brighter. My phone lit up with notifications, people reaching out, checking in, asking me things, like I was suddenly interesting again. That night, I slept better than I had in days. But when I woke up, there was another feather on my pillow. It was damp. And just for a second, I swear it moved. At first, I didn't care. I loved the attention, the admiration, the way people leaned in when I spoke, laughed at my jokes, wanted to be near me. But over time, it became exhausting. Every conversation, every interaction felt heightened, like I was constantly performing, constantly on display. It was like the necklace had turned the volume of my life up too high, and I couldn't turn it back down. I started feeling trapped. My own thoughts weren't mine anymore. My senses were always on edge, and the feathers became more frequent. I knew, deep down, that I needed to stop. So, with all the strength I had left, I took it off. The second I did, I felt like something was ripping itself out of me. My vision blurred, my body ached, but I pushed through. I walked straight to the lake and threw the pendant into the deepest part. The moment it hit the water, I felt hollow, like I had lost something important. But I didn't give in. Now, the feeling has passed. The world around me is quieter. I don't shine as brightly, but I feel real again. I may not have the same attention I once did, but I'm okay with that, because now, I am finally free.
I'm Daniel from Seattle, USA, and I've always been drawn to antiques. There's something fascinating about owning a piece of history. So when I found an ornate 19th century mirror at a small estate sale, I didn't hesitate to buy it. It was heavy, framed in dark oak with intricate carvings. The seller seemed eager to get rid of it, practically giving it away. That should have been my first warning. At first, it was just a mirror. But then, little things started bothering me. I'd glance at my reflection and feel like it was off somehow, like it was a fraction slower than me. One night, while brushing my teeth, I turned away for just a second. And when I looked back, my reflection was still facing forward. I blinked, my heart pounding. Maybe I was just tired. A few nights later, it got worse. I woke up in the middle of the night, and, for some reason, felt compelled to look at the mirror. In the dim light, I saw my own reflection, but it wasn't moving like me. It was staring right at me with a faint, unsettling smile. My stomach dropped. The next night, I dreamt of the mirror, but in the reflection, I wasn't standing there. I was lying down. As I focused, I realized I was in a coffin. My skin was gray, my body decayed. My reflection was rotting. I jolted awake in a cold sweat, my eyes immediately locking onto the mirror. I covered it with a sheet the next morning. But that night, I woke up to the sound of something rustling. The sheet had been pulled off and lay crumpled on the floor. My pulse thundered in my ears. I decided to get rid of it. I found an interested buyer online and invited him over. We barely started talking when out of nowhere, he turned pale and stumbled back, clutching his throat. He wasn't hurt, but he left in a hurry, muttering about feeling something pressing against him. After that, no one else would come near it. I spoke to a therapist, hoping for a rational explanation. She didn't laugh it off. She just said, never sleep in the same room as it. I moved the mirror to the basement. But sometimes, when I pass by the door, I hear a faint creak, like glass shifting under pressure. I haven't looked at it in weeks. I don't want to know what I might see.